to the office and said, what is Eric doing? Because Paul Stanley is going to do a solo tour. He needs a drummer. And I was done recording my drum tracks, and he said, well, he's done. He's just going to go home. They're going to finish the record. It's not going to come out until maybe 4 or 5 months from now. So he told Paul Stanley about me, and then I went over to the KISS. I was staying in a hotel like right here. Right around the corner was the KISS office. Really, literally right around the corner. It just turns out it's very, sometimes they say that things are meant to be, like fate. And it was right around the corner, so I went over to the office and I met with Paul, and I remember I brought him some CDs. I think I brought him a couple of Black Sabbath records I played on and some other stuff, because he didn't know who I was. And I had just done the tour with Gary Moore. About 6 months before that I had done it, or maybe a year before I had done a tour with Gary Moore. And because he didn't know who I was. So the other guitar player in the band was Bob Kulick, Bruce Kulick's brother. And Paul asked him, he said, do you know who this Eric Singer is? And he said, no, who did he play with? He said, well, he played with Gary Moore. He said, oh, well, if he played with Gary Moore, then I know he must be good, because everybody knows Gary Moore is a great guitar player. So I went and met with Paul, and we got along good, and he said, okay, and then next thing I know, he told somebody else that, oh, I'm going to use Eric Singer on drums. He didn't even tell me. He told the head of our record company. He came to the studio this night, and he was at the famous club in New York called China Club. And he said, oh, I just saw Paul Stanley. He told me you're going to play drums with him on his tour. I said, really? I didn't know. He didn't tell me. So he went and hired me without telling me. And then we did. That was a great, I always got along great with Paul. And that's why I ended up in KISS, because when Eric Carr became sick, he asked me to come in just to record the record, Revenge, in 1991. At this time I was still playing with Alice Cooper, but we were on a break. It was a crazy story. I came home from tour with Alice, and this is honest to God true story. I walk into my bedroom at home, just come home, open the door, and when I open the door at the phone machine, somebody's leaving a message. It's Paul leaving a message saying, Eric, I need you to help me record, need you to help me in the studio. So I answered the phone. He said, I need you to help me do recording for this record because Eric Carr is too sick. And so he said, go over to pick up a tape of some of the song ideas. So this day I pick up the tape, and this night I go in the rehearsal studio, start rehearsing with Bruce Kulick. He's teaching me the songs to record. The same day, and went in the studio, next day start recording. We start rehearsing for the record, and I record, and I did the record on my break, and then I went back on tour with Alice. And then when we were doing the record, they were going to do Wayne's World, the movie Wayne's World, and Alice was in it. Well, when they did the Wayne's World movie, I was in the studio with KISS, so I couldn't be 2 places a month. So that's why they hired Jimmy DeGrasso to just do the movie. But I was still playing drums with Alice. So after this, Eric Carr passed away, and then the next year, then when Alice, actually Alice didn't tour anymore. I did the tour and finished the tour. The next year, I joined KISS. Alice, the movie cover came out, but Alice didn't tour. And so when he did go to tour in South America in '96, then he hired Jimmy DeGrasso because he had done the movie. So this is what happens.
About Eric Carr, the KISS fans really love
Great song. They love what?
The KISS fans they love Eric Carr.
Oh yeah, of course.
How was how to play Guardel?
How did we place him?
No, how did you feel playing his
How do
playing?
you feel?
Well, it was very awkward because obviously,
What was that very hard situation?
very difficult situation. I mean, when they say like a double-edged sword, two, good and bad, positive and negative. On one hand, it was very great for me because now all of a sudden I had this opportunity to join this very famous band, but I joined the band under a very bad circumstance. So that's sometimes, life is funny because sometimes when something bad happens, sometimes there's always something good comes of it. When we have a bad experience in life, there's always something good, and this was one of those situations where, unfortunately a sad situation of somebody dying, it turned out for me to be a good, something positive because it gave me another opportunity. But I felt very awkward because I knew he was very popular with fans, and a lot of fans loved him and still love him to this day. But life goes on, and I always decided if it's going to be, they're going to have to get a new drummer. Why not me? If I don't do it, it's going to be you or you or him.
Of course.
Well, not him. He doesn't play drums.
Yes, he does.
Is he a drummer?
Yes.
Oh, you play drums? You didn't tell me.
Sí que le dije.
Yes, he did tell
No,
me.
you didn't.
Yeah. The last Wednesday.
I don't remember you telling me drums. I play drums. He was sleeping?
Maybe you was sleeping, not that.
Who's your favorite drummer?
Tama.
Who?
Tama.
No. Who?
Ah, the drummer. You.
No.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? He said, who's your favorite?
Uli Kush from Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. What's his name?
Uli Kush.
Uli Kush. Didn't he play on the Avantasia record?
¿Me dijo?
Sí, tocó en el Avantasia Records, en el disco de
The last
Avantasia.
one?
En el último.
I thought he did.
I don't remember.
No.
Ed Guy is kind of like Halloween style.
Yes,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like Ed Guy?
Yeah.
Besides-
Edgar en Avantasia.
What?
Edgar en Avantasia. ¿Vos
Which one you like better? Avantasia or Ed Guy?
qué me parece mejor?
Sí, ¿cuál te gusta más?
Edgar.
Really?
Yeah.
You wait till you hear the new record.
Yo soy de...
Yeah, when you hear the new record, I think you're going to like Avantasia better.
The 3 and 4 parts.
Yeah, well, I did 3 and 4.
Yeah.
You're going to like it. I'm telling you, number 3. I don't know which song is going to be on this one because we did 20 or 21 songs. And I sang one song too. I sang one song. Yeah, Tobias. He's crazy. We were in the studio, and the studio, I saw the record collection, and they had all these old records in this band called Lucifer's Friend, a German band. Very heavy, they sound like Deep Purple, Uriah Heep, and Led Zeppelin, and Black Sabbath, all kind of this style, from late 1969, 1970 time period. The studio where we record in Hamburg, the owner of the studio, he worked on these records. He said, oh, I engineered these records. So I said, oh, I played some of the songs for Toby, and he goes, oh, I love this band. So he said, I want to record this one song. So we end up recording the song from this band, Lucifer's Friend, from 1969, old song called Ride the Sky. And the singer is a great singer, and Toby loved the singer. His name is John Lawton, English guy. He was the singer in Uriah Heep much later. But the guy's got a great voice, killer voice. If you listen to this first album, so good, his voice. It's like, sounds a lot like Ian Gillan from Deep Purple, and a little bit like, maybe kind of like David Byron, Uriah Heep, and maybe a little like Zeppelin kind of. But the style is very more like Deep Purple, Uriah Heep, with the Hammond B3 organ. So Toby, I always singing all the time in the studio. I always like to sing a lot, but goofing around. So he said, I want you to sing the song. So I went in the studio on the last night before I go home, really late at night, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. He makes me set up the microphone and sing, and I only sang maybe 2 or 3 times, but 1/2 hour. And he goes, okay, that's it, good enough. And he says, I'm going to use this. He's going to sing it with me. We're going to sing together, duet. Yeah, me and him on this one song. He told me in an email about 2 weeks ago. He said, I'm going to use that track with you singing, and you and I are singing on this together.
Tell me, Eric.
He's a good guy. I like him. Very professional. I met him 1998 or 1999 when that guy first started. He was very young, maybe 20 or 21. And I said, this kid's in. I said to him when I met him, I said, you should have been in Iron Maiden when Bruce Dickinson left. Instead of this Blaze Bayley, I said they should have got you. You have the right voice because he sounded like a young Bruce Dickinson, but better. And I thought he would be perfect for this. And I thought he was, but I always told him then, I said,